So you're about to go on a holiday. Of course you're feeling really excited. And one of the things you'd love to be able to do on that holiday is meet a whole bunch of really cute girls. Imagine if you had a way to line up girls who are eager to meet you every stop in your journey. Just like some kind of rock star, you'd have girls waiting on the tarmac the day that you land. Well, today I'm going to show you how to do just that using a couple of really awesome Tinder features. I'm also going to show you some of the big mistakes guys make when they are traveling using Tinder that prevents them from getting the matches they hope they might be able to get. Keep watching to find out. Now, before I get rolling, I just want to make something clear. I don't work for Tinder. I don't get paid by Tinder. In the past, I do work as a dating coach, and I do have an online coaching program, School of Tinder, but that's about to be completely renewed into the School of Online Dating. So I coach all online dating apps and how to use them. So I have nothing to gain by focusing on Tinder for this video, except that this strategy works the best by far using Tinder because some of the features that it offers. Now, I'll also say that you really do need to have a profile that performs okay. If you have a Tinder profile that isn't getting any matches in your local city, this may not work for you. Now, a lot of guys feel that Tinder is a scam and they're not sure how they should feel about it. Tinder isn't a scam. You need a basic, you need to have a profile that meets a certain level of quality. Not just, I don't mean genetics and how you look, obviously that can help, but you've got to have a decent profile. And if you don't know how to build a decent profile, you're going to have to learn. One of the most important parts of your profile is your profile photo. So if you're unsure how to get some really great Tinder profiles, I'll give you a link up here and down in the comments below to a free cheat sheet that's going to help you take perfect photos to put into your Tinder profile so that you can start getting results before you travel and use this system. So let's get started. What is the very first thing that you need to do? Well, you don't need to do anything until about 3 days before you're set to travel. 3 days, maybe 5 at the most. And what you're going to do is you're going to delete your entire Tinder profile. That's right, you're going to delete it off the face of the planet. Maybe copy and paste the profile that you've got so you know kind of what it looks like, but you're going to delete it entirely. And then what you're going to do is you're going to start one completely fresh and new. So why are you going to do this? You're going to do this because odds are your Tinder ranking, because Tinder gives everyone a ranking system, it generally declines over time. And if you've had a Tinder profile for a while, you've had this Tinder going for a couple of weeks to a month or two, you're going to want to delete it entirely and start fresh because fresh profiles get this boost in ranking. So a lot of women are going to see you when you first start a brand new profile. So that's the very first thing you're going to do. The second thing that you want to do is when you're writing your profile in this new Tinder account, what you want to do is you really want to make clear that you are from another country. So name your country and make clear that you're a traveler on a holiday. Because obviously if you're traveling and you want to meet girls, you're not looking for a relationship. And you need to make that clear, but in a way that doesn't trigger any, if you were to just write a profile saying, hey, just looking to hook up while I'm on holidays, that's going to be a red flag and turn off a lot of women that may be open to hooking up with you. It's a funny thing about female psychology. So you don't want to say that, but you do want to make clear that you are just on a holiday because you don't want to waste time talking to women who are looking for a relationship. You don't want to waste time, talking to women who just don't want to have anything to do with guys who are traveling. And there are plenty of them, but there are also plenty who do because you represent a unique experience for them to act out of their general personality and do things they wouldn't normally with someone local because they know you're going to disappear. So you are a good opportunity. Plus, being from another country, you might just be a little bit exotic in the place you're headed to. So what do I write? I usually write something like, hey, I'm just traveling here from Australia on a bit of a holiday, looking for some really cool people to have an adventure with. If that's you, come and say hello. So yeah, notice by the way that I'm saying I'm just visiting here rather than naming the country. I name the country I'm from, but I don't name the place I'm visiting. The reason being that probably on a holiday, you're going to visit a bunch of different locations. So you don't want to have to mix up and change your profile every time you change locations. Just a little trick, but it does help a lot because as you're going to find out, you're going to start changing locations. Before you go into every new city, you're going to keep changing your location. So that's going to confuse women and could ruin some of your matches if you're not careful. You'll find out a little bit more what that's about in a minute. Now, the third thing that you're going to need to do is you're going to need to pony up and get a Tinder Plus or Tinder Gold account. Now, I know some guys get a little bit upset about like having to pay for online dating, but here's the thing. There are some features here that are going to be critical for your traveling. And what's more than that, Tinder Gold and Tinder Plus members get a boost, so the number of women who see them and the attractiveness of the women that see them, so they get a boost for having that as well. Now, honestly, don't get upset about the price or having to pay for it. You've just spent God knows how much money to go on this holiday. And if you don't want to spend the entrance fee to a club once to get these features, I don't know what you're thinking about paying for this holiday, because really it's a small fee. So go ahead and pay it. It's going to pay itself off in spades. So go ahead, pay right now and get a Tinder Gold, a Tinder Plus account. The fourth thing you want to do is you want to hop onto the Tinder settings and you want to find the option that's called the Tinder Passport. Now, Tinder Passport is really fantastic because what it allows you to do is tell Tinder where to show you the women. So it's going to place you in a city and match you with women within a radius, your set radius of that city location. So obviously you've got to pinpoint the city you're going to first travel to. So Tinder's going to start matching you with women there rather than women in your home city, which you don't care about because you're about to leave shortly anyway, right? In 3 to 5 days. Now, number 5 is, it kind of represents a mistake that a lot of guys make. See, when you use Tinder Passport, it still shows women how far away you actually are. So what Tinder will do is it will show you women who are in, let's say you're going to Latvia. It'll show you Latvian women, but it'll show those women, it'll show you to those women as well, but it'll still say your distance is, 8,000 miles or however far Australia is or wherever you live is. So to those women, it's going to look like you're really far away, and a lot of them will not match with you as a result. It's a big mistake a lot of guys make when they're using Passport. So whenever you do use Passport, you've got to make sure to go into the settings and click the setting that allows you to hide your distance on your profile. So by hiding that, as far as women are concerned, you live nearby and you're in that same city right now close to them. It's going to definitely help you get a lot more matches when those women are checking you out. Number 6 is the fun part, really, because here's where you're going to start swiping right and left on women's profiles. Again, if you've got Tinder Gold, the great thing is it's going to show you, you're going to be able to click and see all the women who have already swiped right on you. And this is why I recommend just use Tinder Gold for this rather than Tinder Plus. Even though Tinder Plus will work, it's much easier and more fun to see the girls who have swiped right on you. So go ahead and start matching with girls. Start having conversations with them immediately. I know you're 3 days out, but this is really critical because you want to line them up before you land. And so what you're going to do is you're going to talk to these women as though you've already touched down, as though you've just arrived in the country. The reason that you're doing this is because I've noticed when guys use this strategy, if they tell women they haven't landed yet, a lot of women lose interest quickly. Even though they're going to be here in a couple of days, a lot of women they disappear and focus on other guys who are nearby right now. So it's a strategy that I've learned and it works, and I'm really not an advocate of lying, but in this case, it won't impact her in any way because you're going to be there by the time you're going to line up a time to meet anyway. So I've just found that it really helps a lot. It helps you get a lot more women's numbers and contact details so you can actually meet with them on the ground. Now, bonus tip number 7. Odds are if you're going on a holiday, you're not just going to be in one single location. You're going to go from location to location to location. So what you want to do is 3 days before you jump to the next location, you want to jump into Tinder Passport and you want to change your location to the new one that you're going to be headed to. After all, you don't really want to be matching with local girls anymore. Why? Because you've probably got a bunch of them on dates already. You don't need any more local girls. So you're going to switch to your location. Then what I highly recommend you do is you go ahead and use your boost feature. Now, what is the boost feature? The Tinder boost feature is, what it does is it'll place you to the top of the women's search rankings. I'll explain this in a second, but it's going to push you to the top of that list for 10 minutes. Now, why this is so fantastic is that any woman who's online on Tinder and goes, who shall I swipe on, left, right, you're going to appear first or say in the top 3 of guys that they first see. So almost everyone online at that point in time is going to see you. Now, be sure when you use this feature, this boost feature, look at the time zone, and you're going to set it off at 9 p.m. at that city's time zone, because 9 p.m. is when Tinder has the highest usage, the highest number of women online, so you're going to get the biggest bang for your buck on the Tinder boost. Now, when you're using Tinder Plus or Tinder Gold, you get one boost for free. So the second city that you go to, you can use this boost before you arrive. But I highly recommend buying new boosts before you hit every city, because you may get odds are you all don't have a perfect Tinder profile that's going to maintain a really high ranking score. So your Tinder, your ranking is going to drop. But I don't want that to get in the way of getting lots of matches as you hit every new city. So, for a few bucks, for a little bit of spend, get a new boost before you hit a new city, match with a whole bunch of women because you're appearing right at the top of the rankings, and then line up times to meet them before you touch down. So this is a really, really great system. It's worked it's worked incredibly well for a lot of my clients. I've been getting them to do this. I've been tweaking it over time. Again, as long as you've got a halfway decent Tinder profile that gets to some basic results, you can do incredibly well on a holiday and have the kind of holiday you always dreamed you could. Again, if you're struggling to have any kind of matches on Tinder in your local city, go ahead and check out my free download. Again, the link's down in the comments below. If you've liked this video, of course, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click the little bell icon so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. Have you used a system like this before? Is there another step that I could include that I haven't thought of? I'd love to hear from you. As always, I'm Damien. Have a fantastic week, and I see you in my future videos.